Hello fam, today I wanted to talk about something that's kind of personal. I want to advise everyone, if the title didn't already make it obvious, that I'll be discussing my experiences with mental health and dysphoria. I want to keep this video as positive as I can, but everybody should be informed and try to be safe when watching. Some of these topics can be hard for those who are struggling with any of these, even if the conversation is all around discussing the good stuff. With that in mind, let's get started. The past few days for me haven't been the most fun I've ever had in my life, I won't lie. When I get in slumps like these, where the heaviness in my chest feels so overbearing that I can't breathe, and I struggle to even take care of myself, I often turn inwards and reflect. The thought to make this video actually popped into my head a few weeks ago, and I've been mulling it over ever since. With the recent backlash on the Vtubing community from those that don't entirely understand it, now felt like the right time to discuss it. Taking the time to think of the positives of being a VTuber has been, for me and many others, seems more important than ever for myself and the community. So, what's my deal? I've got depression, the kind where everything will be fine, but you wake up one day and you feel like you're on autopilot. Everything makes you upset, everything feels wrong, and it feels like everyone is out to get you. Even when I get those feelings, I know it's not true. I'm beloved, cherished, and good at making the right choices. That doesn't mean those feelings disappear, and if I don't address them quick enough, then they can really start to affect my judgment. I've also got a severe case of ADHD. I think in this day and age we're all pretty well educated on what this entails, but I have poor time management and priority blindness, no sense of object permanence, rejection sensitivity, and struggle with controlling hyperfixation. This also leads to me being impulsive, dealing with intrusive thoughts, and on occasion, struggling with hot topics when I get upset. I'm also trans, as most of you know. Dysphoria is a term most in the trans community use to describe the disconnect that happens inwardly in regards to one's body and the perceived societal gender they align with. It can cause someone to feel sick, dissociate, feel uncomfortable, and for a lot of people even bring up past trauma. So, what does VTubing have to do with any of that? And how does it help? Let's start with depression, something everyone has experienced a little bit of. Mine's a severe case, but I am thankfully considered high-functioning. I can still get tasks done, manage my symptoms, and feel fulfilled, and recognize what's happening a lot of the time before it gets unmanageable. Vtubing provided an outlet for me when I have my down days, a sort of party just for me when it all goes wrong. It can be really hard to make myself stream or make videos when I feel the way I do at times, but when people I love come and support me, it really soothes all the aches inside of me. Even if I'm not feeling totally up to doing anything, being a part of a community has given me a creative place to express myself, the good and the bad. I think that's something everyone can benefit from. What about ADHD? You can't medicate something like that with a virtual anime character, and to that I say, yeah, you're right, but that doesn't mean it hasn't helped me. Being a content creator and a VTuber in general has helped me learn about myself and subsequently equip me with the tools that I don't think I would have learned in other settings. Self-discipline is a tricky topic, especially for those with ADHD, because it's not something we can just try harder at. I have learned my own tells, and being a VTuber has helped me figure out things that work for me, so I can be more productive and have a healthier relationship to the projects and work. Those with ADHD can probably sympathize with me when I say you can't just make yourself do it, and you can't really help the apathy that sinks in at unexpected times, especially when you actually do really want to do a project. But I have learned to be more responsible for myself and pick projects and topics better suited to who I am. That's not saying a VTuber will help everyone in that regard, but it helped me personally, so I thought it was worth a mention. Lastly, being trans. This one is pretty objective, as how people express their gender identity and how their dysphoria, or lack thereof, manifest differs wildly from person to person. I can only speak on my own personal experiences, so everything I say should be taken with a grain of salt. When I first came out as trans, it was a lot like being a teenager again. I had to rediscover who I was as a person. What sort of fashion did I like? What kind of things did I like to be called? How would this affect my activities? Being a VTuber alleviated a lot of that stress and allowed me to express this uncomfortable transition in my life with a sort of anonymity and expression that I couldn't always do in the real world. I don't need to worry about binding my chest on a 2D model or having to assume sort of defense in public for the dreaded accidental misgendering. It brought me a lot of comfort but eased me into the role I'd always meant to be in while providing a bit of a safety net from the community. Something I don't struggle with, but I think is worth discussing as well, is the anonymity Vtubing can give. A lot of people struggle with disabilities, mental illness, or even lack of equipment to give the kind of content they want. If you don't have a good webcam, struggle with anxiety of showing your face for whatever reason, have disabilities or illness, or even just need a bit more personal protection for your privacy, Vtubing offers that in spades. The realm of what you could be and what sort of content you can make has been expanded by it, and I think that's an amazing thing. A lot of people don't really get Vtubers, and honestly, that's valid. It's okay to not understand niches or genres of community, or even be interested in them. What is important is respecting the quality of life improvement that community offers to those in it, and to be kind when interacting with it as a whole. Like every community, ours isn't perfect. Vtubing isn't always sunshine and rainbows, but neither is most any community on this little blue rock we call Earth. My overall experience has been a positive one. How has Vtubing affected all of you?